My special guest is Priscilla Rodriguez, Vice President, College Readiness Assessments, the College Board, telling us why students should take the SAT this spring. But more importantly, understanding what to expect on the SAT, how to practice, and how it can help with college applications. Welcome, Priscilla.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Priscilla, taking the SAT can be intimidating for students, but it doesn't have to be, correct?
No, it really doesn't. And we understand the natural anxiety that goes into, to any test. Even adults feel anxiety when they have to take a test. But we want to take as much of that out of the process as possible. And we did two things to make that possible. So the first is in 2016, we completely redesigned the SAT. It's not the SAT that all of us adults took. And we redesigned it because we felt that it needed to measure what students actually learn and do in high school and what skills and knowledge they need as they move into college and career. So the old SAT that many of us took had these SAT vocabulary words that you had never seen before and kind of trick math problems and even a penalty if you got a question wrong. All of that is gone. Students should open the test booklet, look at the questions and say, I've seen this kind of work before. I've been doing it in my high school, whether it's math, reading, or writing. And that's really what we want so that students can show their strengths and what they know to colleges and scholarship programs.
What a great idea. Very down to earth and logical, getting rid of the false barriers. From what I can understand, Priscilla, correct me if I'm wrong, but taking the SAT provides tangible opportunities to students who are applying to college.
It does. So yeah, I'd love to talk about that because again, it's something I'm not sure that all families know about. So the SAT has many benefits. One is it helps in your college application process. That's the one everybody knows about. But there are a number of other ones. So a lot of colleges, actually, people don't know this, a lot of colleges and just scholarship programs use the SAT as part of how they decide who gets scholarships to go to college. And we know that students and families across the country are worried about how they're going to pay. So every scholarship dollar helps. And the SAT can be a part of unlocking those opportunities for students. And then colleges also use it to help place students in classes, right? Which level of math or writing should this student be in when they start college with us to set them up for success so that they're learning and challenged, but starting from a position of strength as they head into college. And I want to mention, we have a program that it's called a fee waiver program that we offer for income eligible students. So it's based on how the income of their family. But for students who are income eligible, getting a fee waiver from the College Board gives them 2 SATs for free, so they can take, practice, and retake if they want. It allows them to send their SAT scores to an unlimited number of colleges and scholarship programs that they're interested in. And we work with the colleges to actually waive the application fee, the college application fee. This adds up to savings of hundreds and hundreds of dollars for lower income families, which without this can mean that they can't apply to college. We're trying to do everything we can as a nonprofit to remove the barriers of either money or like access, like practice and information. We're trying to knock those barriers down as quickly and as effectively as we can.
Great job. Sometimes I wonder, Priscilla, what this country would do without nonprofits, not-for-profits. What's the best way for students to practice for the SAT?
Yeah, so practice is really key. And it's another thing that we changed in a big way in 2016. So 2016, we redesigned the actual test so it measures what you do in high school. And we partnered with another nonprofit called Khan Academy to develop a free online practice tool. It's called Official SAT Practice on Khan Academy, and it's at satpractice.org. And it uses real SAT problems and real full-length SAT practice tests and technology to diagnose for the student the areas where they're already strong and the areas where they still do have room for improvement, and then gives them problems, videos, and exercises in those improvement areas so that they know that they're focusing their valuable practice time on the right places, and it shows them how they're making progress. We wanted to even the playing field. Before official SAT practice on Khan Academy, if your family had financial resources, you might have a tutor or a SAT class. But if your family didn't have financial resources, and mine didn't, and millions of families in this country don't, you were on your own when it came to practicing, and that was not right.
So the income eligible students, I mean, they can take the SAT and the SAT subject tests and also apply for college. What?
Yes.
Yeah. What is the Student Search Service? Is that also a free program?
It is. It is. It's a free program that I want to make sure students and parents know about. It's voluntary, meaning students have to choose to be part of it. But we hope they will. And this is why. This is why we hope they will. So what Student Search Service does once a student opts in is it allows them to be connected to colleges and scholarship organizations across the country who are looking for students like them. So I remember mail starting to come in to my parents' house when I was in high school from colleges all over, ones I'd heard of and dreamt about and ones I'd never heard of, and scholarship programs letting me know about them and that I could be a good fit. It opened my eyes to the broader world of what was out there. And it positively impacted where I applied to college and where I went. And we have data that shows that it's not just me. It helps millions of students every year know what their options are, start a conversation and a connection with colleges and scholarship programs, and open their eyes to what they want to do with their future.
Look where you are now, huh? It followed through. We're speaking with Priscilla Rodriguez. She's the Vice President of the College Readiness Assessments, the College Board, telling us why students should take the SAT this coming spring. Now, what about scholarships, Priscilla?
So scholarships are the word that everybody loves when it comes to the college process, because we know that families, many families, are genuinely concerned about how they're going to pay for college for their students. So we're trying to do a lot on the scholarship front. Many organizations are, but I want to talk quickly about what we're doing. So
Sure.
few things. As I've mentioned, the SAT is often used by scholarship programs as part of how they decide who gets scholarships. So by taking both the PSAT, that preliminary SAT, and the SAT, you make yourself knowable or findable by a bunch of scholarship organizations, which could lead you to getting a scholarship. So that's one thing. The second is we launched our own scholarship program a little over a year ago. It's called the College Board Opportunity Scholarship, and it's from College Board. And I won't go into all the details, but I will say it's really, really different. It's about telling students there are 6 key steps to applying to college. Things like build a list of schools you're interested in, fill out the FAFSA for financial aid. And if you just do these things, these actions that help you go to college, we will give you a scholarship. So it's really different, but really exciting. And then we also have what we call Scholarship Search. It's on another one of our websites. And it's a database of all hundreds, thousands of scholarships that are out there. And students can put in a little bit of information about them, where they live, where they want to go to college, and then we help them find scholarships that they should consider applying to.
Wow. Man, a couple of $1,000 I think is mentioned in there too, isn't it? The students can earn up to $2,000.
There are scholarships out there ranging from $500 to $40,000 a year. In fact, ours do. Our program, the College Board Opportunity Scholarships, have scholarships from $500 all the way up to $40,000. And we know that every dollar helps.
My word, it does. I tell you what, it's only, the end of January when we're doing this. It feels like Christmas all over again. These lucky kids, I tell you what. So
yeah, well, you know, it's a stressful time in their life. I don't think we should kid ourselves about that, and no pun intended. But we remember it's a stressful time. They're making big decisions. They're busy in high school. They're learning. They're growing. It's a stressful time.
Yeah.
We're a nonprofit. Our goal is to help students get to college, any college they want to go to. And we're trying to bring the stress down. We're trying to even the playing field and give them information and access so that they can then make good choices.
You know, it's great. We talked about how students can practice for the SAT. Okay, if colleges are going test optional, Why should students take the SAT?
It's a really good question. So just to make sure that your listeners know, so test optional is a phrase for a set of policies that some colleges are putting in place, which essentially say, student who wants to apply here, if you want to submit a test score on your application, great. If you don't, for any reason, you don't have to. So it doesn't say, you have to send this score. It gives students options and flexibility, which is something we know they want. But it's relatively new and not that widespread, and we want to make sure there's not confusion about kind of how it really works. So two things that I want to make sure that families and students know as they think about where they're going to apply, especially if there's test optional schools they're looking at. So the first, I think I've already mentioned, which is that colleges use SAT scores for more than just admission. So even if you're test optional, they may use it for, as I said, awarding scholarship dollars and helping place students in the right level of classes in that first semester so that they can get off to a strong start. So there are other uses that colleges have, and they're important. And then the second one is, even at test optional schools that say send if you want, don't send if you don't want, the vast majority of applicants are still sending scores, which we think students should know as they decide if they want to send or not to.
I tell you what would be interesting, Priscilla, in the work that goes into placing them basically into the right square or right hole instead of trying to put a square peg in a round hole. It'd be interesting to see the stats of those more successful because of the work that you do. Does that make sense?
That is exactly the kind of measurement we do and keep trying to do, because we want, as a nonprofit, we want to connect our efforts and our investments to impact. And impact is, are students who want to go to college being able to go, and are they going to a college that is like a good fit for them, where they're going to be successful? And there's a lot that goes into that. College Board cannot fix all of that by ourselves, but we're doing everything we can with the test, with free practice, with scholarships. And we have great partners who are doing a lot as well. And we're just trying to help students get to where they want to go after high school and give them every chance they have.
Fabulous. What about a website to follow up with, Priscilla? Where can my listeners have a good read?
Yes.
Because it sounds terrific, whatever you're doing.
Oh, thank you. Okay, so two quick websites. The first is the home of kind of all things SAT, and that is sat.org. And then the second is the home of that amazing free practice site that students should be using to get ready, and that is at satpractice.org.
Fantastic. All right, Priscilla Rodriguez, Vice President of College Readiness Assessments at the College Board, where she leads the organization's programs and services related to the SAT suite of assessments, including the SAT and PSAT related assessments. Thanks as always, Priscilla. Great job. Have a wonderful weekend.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on.
Priscilla Rodriguez. Isn't that interesting, ladies and gentlemen? Nice to know where your kids can get that help and support and benefit. I trust you enjoyed that. Here with Mark Bishop on The Mark Bishop Show on Tucson Business Radio X.